Who's playing?
Oh my lord! Wow, when the caster
It's
does not.
Equilibrium that just won, so I know they're winning, but like, I don't know how to read a scoreboard.
You
so
don't know how to read well. I knew that. That's because you're such a potato. But anyway,
At least I went to school.
I went to school too. I left,
No, you
but I
worked in
went to
potato
school.
farm. Shut up. Okay.
It's the front 242.
It's the front 242.
Never heard of them.
The
Don't
front
have a clue
242?
who they are.
No. No idea.
I've only heard of iAngels, ZZ, and XV11, whatever that Roman numeral name is.
Zv. Yeah, call them like that.
Zv.
But at least it's good because they're making the job a lot easier because they got their team tag, like their guild tag is F242, so they make it really easy for us. Thank you guys. And we also got Equilibrium then on the B side. So okay, let's go in. I haven't casted in the years, guys, so we're gonna have to get back into this slowly. So far, yeah, we're gonna have the draft phase, gonna have the Samuel ban, Chamuka ban, Anchor ban. So that lets Yates still open, Arden still a very good pick so far. And Lorelei is still available, and Imperium, like I heard you talk about that earlier, but like Lorelei, really impactful in this 3.7 meta.
Oh yeah, so much, but you've got to make sure that the comp suits Lorelei and that is able to play around her, because if she isn't able to really get up to the late game and kind of scale up and have that carry that is able to, you know, be supported with her and kind of that you're able to support with Lorelei's strengths, she can kind of get left out in the open. We saw when Equilibrium came up against the Nightmares, she was just kind of left out on her own and was able to just get bursted down. But either way, she is so strong in this 3-point meta, as you said. We do see this first couple of picks coming out, which is Arden coming out from F242, then Lorelei, followed by what seems to be maybe either Catherine, Grace, or Lance.
Yeah, we're going to have to see how they're going to play that up. But Lorelei can be played both in the roam position and the top lane position. Really viable in both positions. So it could be in a flex pick right off the start. And then they do pick up the Lance to follow it up. So, like, so far, CC chaining, that is my speciality in Vainglory, CC chaining. And so far, that's what they have on the side of Equilibrium. So now it's all going to be dependent on the side of F242 to be able to deal with that kind of CC. And right off the start, they're picking a Grumshaw into a Lance. That is something I do not agree with, Imperium.
Well, yeah, I generally don't agree with it, but Grumjaw is quite strong that I actually think it can be workable. I don't quite agree with the Lyra as third pick. Yes, okay, Lyra has bright bulwark, which can kind of shut down the Impale a little bit, which can work, but I don't think it synergizes as well with the Grumjaw, at least in the early phase of this draft. Time will tell as Gwen is picked up. I'd like to see a CP Tony Kappa coming out from...
Oh, not you! Please stop it, guys, with CP Tony. That meme is dead.
I'm joking, man.
I'm gonna kill people if they talk about CP Tony, I swear. Okay.
But either way, Finn is picked up, which I think is great because Finn negates anything like the stuff that, you know, he negates the gauntlet. Yes, he's a little bit slow, but he's going to be able to provide a lot of frontline defense that's going to give Lorelei, Gwen a chance to kind of maybe position and zone around him. But when you have a kinetic followed with a scarf that's going to be able to build up stacks quite easy against a Finn, that is a little bit risky of a pick that's coming out from Equilibrium.
I like that CP Vox pick up there. Makes a lot of sense. You got the Finn and also the last two front lines that have to close the gap quite effectively and like to get quite close. So it allows the Vox then just stack up on his Dragon's Eye when he gets his late game build. So here makes a lot of sense to go for that build up. I think Kinetic is the one on their side that's going to have the hardest time actually like stacking up late game and becoming relevant in those team fights. But it's definitely like two picks that can be really impactful. They do have the Lyra, they have the Arden, a lot of sustain then coming out of those two heroes. It's only for me on the side of front 242. The Grumshaw seemed like the outcast on their side. He's going to have a really hard time applying pressure late game. But early game, Grumshaw is like one of the best top laners right now. I think can apply a lot of pressure and even 1v1 the enemy carries. So Grumshaw, if he wants to be relevant in this game, win the early game in your lane, like shut down the enemy top laner. Sorry, I mean the enemy bot laner, their carry, and that would be good. But otherwise, Grumshaw is not going to have the best of games right now.
Well, the issue we saw, just as a slight comparison, because I agree with you, he's not going to have the easiest of games. When you look at it kind of as a slight comparison, Indigo S, who played Grumshaw in the previous game, Maxman, he got far too ahead of his in the front line and away from his carries in the back line, and what that created was he was just left out on his own, and that was in a game where he had a Grace and a couple of other frontliners that were able to kind of support him, but he still got too far out on his own, and this is what we don't want to see from the Grumjaw, especially in this comp. You want to stick with the rest of your team. You want to stick with the Lyra, and when they engage, you engage. You don't necessarily engage on your own. You wait for that team-wide engagement with the gauntlet, with the portal, and with the likes of the wait for, which on the CP Vox is going to do a lot of damage in the late game. That's when Grumjaw will really play a strong part in this game for F242 Maxman.
Yeah, Grumjaw's starting off the bat, like the boots, which is normal if he wants to go for a jungle invade. He actually started with a crystal bit, and he's going as a jungler, so it's going to be top lane Ardent. I didn't expect that. But that's going to be interesting. Going to have to see how that works out. But like, then they can go for a lot of ganks early game, and that's like, in this kind of situation, that's where Grumjaw's going to have to shine and like shut down heroes such as the Celeste. That's the one I'm thinking about the most right now, is the Celeste, trying to shut her down as much as possible, because she's got shorter range now after the new patch in 3.7. She's lost 0.5 range on her Heliogenesis, so she's going to have to be a little bit more cautious of those ganks from that Grumjaw. But anyway, you're going to have the jungle invade coming out from front 242. They're going to go right onto that Crystal Trin, and my camera is doing weird stuff already. They did fuck it up kind of in this patch. Yeah, like they're going to be pushing that back.
That's the language. It's a family stream.
Oh, family friendly stream. Oh, I mean, they hecked it up. That's how we say it.
They hecked it up.
They hecked it up, dude.
They hecking good. They hecked it up, hecking good. But
what the frick, guys?
Bad Maxman Kappa. But no, it's true. With Celeste, with that nerf that she got on the range of the Helios, early game, she can be really shut down quite hard. But once you have a strong position with the likes of the Finn in the front line, it could give her a chance to scale up quite nicely. What I do like that came out from the Vox on Equilibrium is getting this crystal bit and the Swift shooter. That kind of just that nice basic attack damage, that speed, that's going to be able to take up the CS quite strongly, and then build the Vox up to that, that couple of items where he's going to shine really strongly in this game, Maxman.
Yeah, that's going to be definitely something you're going to have to keep an eye out for throughout this game. Anyway, 2 minutes into the game, and we have no goal lead so far, so the jungle invade not giving a lead whatsoever to any of these teams, so still no man's land so far. And looking about these two Jarf, like in the early game phase, I can definitely see once again this Grumjaw. So I want to see the side here of a front go for these early fights, and even go for jungle invades into the weapon enemy weapon jungle, but they haven't tried to go for that yet. So I think that would be a good opportunity for them to try and shut them down early on. So what do you expect to happen throughout the early game? Do you think they're going to go out for fights or play really passive here?
Unfortunately, I think based on what we see so far, they're going to play passive, which is just so wrong when you're up against a comp that has such a nice late game with the Finn and the Celeste, and even the Gwen. But so their two options would be to pressurize the mid lane, as in rotate up to shut down the Celeste and the Finn as well, because you can shut down the Finn by shutting down the Celeste, or you push the lane. By pushing the lane, you force Equilibrium to rotate where they don't necessarily want to rotate, and you force them to kind of come to you. So that's kind of their two options, but they're not really doing that.
Oh, damn it. That little, that almost got down the Celeste. She did pop the fast in response, so Belly went down, but she will survive that. No first blood quite yet, but the jungle camps are now respawning, and that's going to be both teams going for the enemy jungle CP buff right off the bat. So far, no really big mistakes. Erebos, though, again, poked a little bit in that lane. Finn just going to try and hit him down with those basic attacks. We're not going to be doing enough, unfortunately. Prolito doesn't have the flask anymore, so has to be a little bit wary, as Erebos is still holding strong in that lane. You see him backing off, and Erebos pushing Rikian a little bit back into that mid lane. But the minions are doing a lot of work on Erebos. Don't go down to minions, please. Okay, that would have been interesting. Minions OP.
That would have felt bad, man, to be honest. Yeah. But even if you look at Front 242, they have overall, like we said, like we agreed on, realistically, they have a stronger early game. They're not really ahead on gold even. And that's based on the strategy that they're going for at the moment, the rotations that they're pulling out, the kind of how they're playing this game right now. It's not looking good for them. I'm trying to look ahead in the next 5 to 7 minutes, unless they really pull their head out of their arses, with all due respect, Maxman. And really
you sent me PG stream. Hypocrite. How dare you say me that I can't swear? And then Wow, wow. Okay, I'm not going to accept this anymore.
Unless they pull their heads out of their A beep beep, and kind of really take it to equilibrium, in these lanes, especially the mid lane. Like I said, they're just going to really just lose the team fights coming down the line, at least based on what we've seen. And plus, equilibrium, they're going on to their third game in a row in this King of the Hill tournament. They're feeling confident. They're feeling their momentum. They've played well as a 5-man team in the late game team fights, like we saw against DHC. If anybody can pull this out in the late game, it can be equilibrium based on the comp that they have. But we are seeing a bit of an engagement.
You're going to have a little bit of engagement. Core collapse. Oh, that's Sonic Zoom from that sneaky box, able to avoid that core collapse. Lolito does have his flask up his sleeve, so should be able to get out of that skirmish if ever he did get engaged. But anyway, Gwen going to be up ahead quite early, going to be already doing that jungle invade on their own. So they do have a lead. Like, the jungle camps are respawning faster for the side of Equinox when they're going for the jungle invade. So they can take the buff and go right to their jungle because their jungle hasn't spawned yet. So that's a big opportunity for the side of Equilibrium to come back in the next team fight, but unfortunately they're not taking this opportunity to out-rotate the side of front 242, so unfortunately that's a big opportunity lost right off the bat here. But anyway, that's going to be a big fight coming up in the top lane, and that's unfortunately going to be Arden going down in that 1v2 situation, as it was the Aces High connecting for the dude making the plays.
I just saw a really nice CC chain that I know it was against one person, but in a later game team fight can really go in the favor of Equilibrium. Was the Githian wall impale into the Githian wall into the Aces High. It was just symphonic. It was beautiful, and that's what Equilibrium can do. That was just 2 of Equilibrium in against 1. You have 5 against 5 or 5 against 4. Like, could well happen in Equilibrium, but Lance is about to lose his life.
So I'll have you have a picnic. Lance is going to get stuffed and eaten up under the enemy turret of front 242. That's going to be a 1-for-1 anyway throughout this game. Still no goal lead whatsoever. There's one team trying to take the lead than the other. This is looking way closer to a game of ping pong than a game of Vainglory right now.
Yeah, I really like it because we talked about in the past, as casters, you love to see even games because it actually makes you think about what's being built, what's kind of how the game is actually playing. When one team is dominating another team, it's not as interesting. It's kind of less boring because you kind of, it's quite obvious what's going to happen in the game. Whereas right now, we're trying to really look as the Force of Core comes out.
And skill shots, what are you doing? Core collapse, missed, Quibble, missed, Solastorm, missed, you missed everything. Need glasses there, Celeste, unfortunately. He missed everything, and that will be the Vox surviving that engagement from Rikia and Prolito in the mid lane. That was high-level gameplay, man. High-level gameplay.
Should have gone to Specsavers. Any British viewers will understand that. Should have gone to Specsavers, my man. But either way, it shows the potential of at least what Equilibrium can do once again with the Force of Core going into the core collapse. So either way, even though it failed, it shows the potential. But looking at this game so far, the goal difference is, like you said, so minimal. Itemization-wise, Connect has the Serpent's Mask looking to build into the breaking point. The Vox has alternating curtain now looking to build into Dragon's Eye. Guys are happy to top it?
Yeah, do you have the gauntlet coming out there? Larry going to be trying to rotate around. That's going to be the dude going down in style. One trick carry going to try and run away. He's going to use that combat roll. Does use the fast in response. XV. He does have his ultimate available. Is he going to use it up? I'm not sure. But no, he's going to get... What?
He swallows, baby.
But, like... He got combat roll, then you got Githian walled away. That shouldn't have hit, but okay, I'm going to call lags anyways, and that's going to be 2 kills going over to the side of front 242 as they pick it up in style right there.
Nice to see Grumpjaw doesn't speak, just swallows, baby, but gets a kill onto the Lance. It allows front 242 to actually get into this game quite nicely. You know, but you've got to turn those kills into objectives in some way, shape, or form. They're trying to get the turn. Force a cord, baby.
Run, Zig, run! So I'm gonna stop. Grumdor gonna be able to get out of that Force Accord. So far, no Force Accord been able to work out for the side of Equilibrium, and I was saying Equinox, so sorry for that, but yeah, it is Equilibrium, so do not listen to me. I do not know what I am talking about. Solastorm, boom! Get smacked, kid! Solastorm does get it. Does get the mortal wound applied, but he will survive. Barely, though. Our position, Erebos right there, gonna be going through the mid lane. Grumshaw going to be joining the fight, does get his Grumpy down onto one trick and Rikia, and they're going to decide to put a little bit of damage there. He does have his Aftershock, so he does have some kind of damage output. Actually, like, talking about the Grumshaw, I thought he was going to go as a fully pledged carry, like the good old Aftershock Tension Bow build of, like, a few patches ago, but he's going for the utility build with the Aftershock. So how do you think that's going to work out for him throughout the game?
It's funny because in the last game, once again, when Indigo S played Gumjaw, I mentioned to Decade that I think the Gumjaw should have gone Aftershock as an item instead of Stormcrown. And I'm like, what we're seeing from XVV, however you say his name, is that the Aftershock is really providing a decent bit of burst, but mid lane engagement's going up.
Yeah, there was a fight there. Vox going down. Lyra just, with that skin, like, almost going down. Eat the rainbow, taste the rainbow. She almost took it right into the face, but she did survive barely. But in the top lane, though, Impale does miss out for one-chick carry. Get them all, does connect, though. Force the cord, doesn't connect. What is it? Hey, guys, I hope you enjoy this European tournament so far. It's insane gameplay right now. I like it. Torrent going to be going down in the top lane. Get them all, does connect. Impale doesn't connect. On and run, 1v4, run boy, run. He's gonna go down. He does go down to the dude at the end of the day. Erebus gonna be there by the box, but still, that's gonna be a nice top lane push coming out for Equilibrium.
But yeah, but I really think with the Grumjaw going Aftershock and then followed by Pulse Weave and most likely just that little bit more defense and maybe Crucible as a second item. As a third item, my apologies. He's providing a lot of bursts. He's providing that strong damage that is actually forcing Equilibrium to be aware of their engagements and to actually respect the damage that's coming out from the Grumjaw, which then can potentially allow the Kinetic and the Vox to kind of, get into a forward position that they need to be in. So I do like that. I know it's coming up, but engagement coming out from Equilibrium.
Yeah, Equilibrium, it's time to rumble! That's going to be the Ace's High. Doesn't miss it out, unfortunately. Skedaddle. Going to be Skedaddle. Your PP is a noodle. And he's going to be missing out his abilities, unfortunately. That's going to be a double man route coming out for the Lorelei. And that's going to be Persistent out position. Very nice one. Solar Storm comes out. Oh, it's a force to call. Does connect this time. Quibble gets a nice fat stun onto that double man. Impale going to be... Oh, that didn't connect. That's weird. I thought that was going to hit down, but that did not. Still nice kill, going to be going over to Equilibrium, followed by one, followed by two, followed by three. Double kill for the Gwen. And that's going to be a 3-4-0 trade right there, as they're going to be also claiming this turret in the bot lane. And so far, as we said earlier, like the later game or phase is going to be completely going over to the side of Equilibrium. Definitely. And unfortunately, it was just front 242 not taking it into advantage their early game, and now this is what's happening to them. They didn't focus the early game, and now they're just getting wrecked.
Well, credit to Kronos, he has pushed that top lane and he's actually secured a turret. So it's kind of a turret trade. So you could say that, yeah, okay, he did something there, but you've got to recognize the fact that Equilibrium, they're getting to that late game phase. Thank God, Maxman, that this isn't a drinking game of take a shot every time an ability misses like for support in Impale. Otherwise, myself and the viewers.
Otherwise, this would be Russia, right?
Yeah, otherwise this would be Russia. But either way, at the end of the day, front 242, they actually have quite a mobile comp with the Vox. So it's hard to get those Impales off. It's hard to get the Force Accords off as this buff is taken by who? Is it Team Fighting Games?
Gauntlet does come out. Unfortunately, Grumjaw will be going down at the start of that fight. Erebus going very low. Nice Crucible just in time before the call. Going to be connecting. That's going to be one. That's going to be followed by a double, maybe triple kill. Triple kill for this Gwen, as it's just smacking down everyone on the side of front 242. And at this point, it just can't do much. You're just going to have to wait for the side of front to close up the gold gap at this point. There are 4,000 gold behind, which isn't huge for a 30-minute game. It's still pretty impactful, as it allows them to get that lead in items. And right now, they just have to be very careful because they just can't do much. They don't have the time to stack the Vox. And right now, talking about the Vox, he does go down in that 1v1 skirmish, as just Gwen is going to be completely destroying a Vox, CP Vox in 1v1's case. They're just having a hard time.
They are, and you kind of go 13 minutes, only 4k go behind. This is a late game comp that's coming out from Equilibrium that have hit their peak 40 minutes into a game. Against any other kind of team that recognizes an early game comp, they would have to wait until 20 minutes plus to hit their power spike. So they're about 7 minutes ahead of where they realistically kind of, so to speak, would normally be. It's just really, it's in the palm of the hands. It's their game to lose as
CC chain! CC chain! Impale! Oh, everything's raining down on front 242. Aces High, Impale, get them all. Quibble! You can't get out, boy! He's gonna go down at the end. 4-man down. Patience. Pestilence, the last man standing. Gonna get Impale, gonna get them all soon, I guess. It's also gonna be the Lorelei. Waterwall gonna be coming down, trying to keep this one-trick carry alive a little bit longer. They will go down at the end of the day, but that's going to be the ace going over to the side of Equilibrium. And this should be GG. Yeah, this is going to be GG for Equilibrium in a very easy fashion way.
Yeah, like the first 5 minutes were pretty close between two teams. It was even, but it's not actually what we needed to see coming out from 242 based on their comp. We talked about it all already. They had much stronger early game comp. You saw the Grump draw getting Storm. I'm sorry, getting Aftershock, should I say? That should have been a sign that they should have really have taken those early game skirmishes hard, push that mid lane, force the Celeste and the Finn to really be starved in that mid lane, but that's not what they did. They just kind of did their rotations, played kind of normal. I wouldn't even say passive. They just played normally, and they lost. They lost that game because of it. They lost the turrets. They lost the objectives. And Equilibrium, they played so well, even though we had to laugh about how they kind of missed a couple of Force Core, missed a couple of Solar Storms. When it came down to the crunch of it, like when the Black Claw was captured, that CC chain was disgustingly beautiful and it showed what they were doing overall in the game that captured the win for them. So they move on to the I think the final game of the King of the Hill event. Maxon, I liked what we saw, but I want to see more.